plays video games all day, and his wife is fed up.
Hey, what's up? This is going to be my final video in my Pillars of Ana tutorial. This one is on target prioritization. So if you have not checked out the previous two on positioning and cooldown management yet, highly recommend it. They're going to be down in the links below. But other than that, I'm going to jump right into this. So when you're playing as a support, you have 3 different options in a fight to provide value to your team. These are going to be healing, damaging, and providing utility. These may or may not be too general, or maybe they're not general enough. I don't know for you, but this is just my opinion. All this is my opinion. This is not cold, hard fact. Welcome to think whatever you want. That's fine. And please do leave your thoughts in the comments if you think I'm wrong or if you think I'm right. Either way, I'd love to hear feedback, seriously. But with that in mind, those options, let's talk about some examples. All right, so during a fight, your best choice of the options is going to be very dynamic. I'm not going to tell you you should always be healing or you should always be damaging. You should never be doing only one thing. If you're doing that, you're playing wrong. So for the example, this is going to be easy. It's going to seem easy on the surface, I think, to some people. If you're an Overwatch god, probably won't seem, or probably will seem easy for the right reasons, but it might seem easy for the wrong reasons for others. So let's say, for instance, you're in the poke phase, which means there's not a real fight happening yet. You're just kind of, taking some pot shots, not really doing anything real to get real picks. And your Ryan takes a little bit of damage. Nothing serious. He's like 1/5 of his health, nothing big. So what do? Option A, look for a possible sleep. Option B is to flame your Ryan. Option C is to heal your Ryan. And option D is to damage enemies. Which of those do you want to pick? I'll wait. Let you choose. Okay, I think I just cut. It felt weird sitting there. So let's walk through these options. So you chose option A, which is to look for a sleep. Recommend against that. I get why you chose it. You get a sleep. You could end the fight early, something like that. But first of all, it's going to be a waste of sleep. Let me tell you why. You'll want to save it for a flanker or, a high-value ult that could be coming in. If they have a Tracer, Genji, save it for him so you don't get picked. Save it for a Doomfist or save it for a Nano Blade, Visor, I don't know, whatever. Save it for something like that. But even if you're not wanting to save it, you do still want to make a play, add that sleep. Here's a less nuanced reason not to use that sleep at that point. You're in the poke phase, which means even if you hit a big sleep, your team probably isn't at the point where they're even ready to engage or commit on that sleep, unless you sleep with their Widow and you have a Widow or some situation like that. Like I said, this is very dynamic. And not everything I tell you is going to be exactly what you do in a fight. But generally, your team won't be committed enough to make value of your sleep. So option A, crossed off. Not doing that in this scenario. What's about option B? You could flame your Ryan. It's always a good option, especially if they have like a really identifiable trait that you could flame. Like they have a weird looking nose, or they have a lot of time spent on Brig. It's a good choice. Seriously, it won't help. I hope somebody exited out of the video at that point and went into games and started flaming their Ryans. If they did, kudos to them. It's awesome. But seriously, that won't help you. Flaming is not the answer ever. Option C is to heal your Ryan. This may seem like the best answer to some, but let me explain why it's not at that point in the fight. So if you damage instead of healing, what you're doing is you're building your ult. And the ceiling for building your ult the ceiling is the maximum amount you can do, and the floor is the minimum that you'll do. The maximum amount of ult generation with damaging versus healing is significantly higher than if you heal your Ryan. With healing your Ryan, you have a closed ceiling, a very low ceiling too. You're only getting like 100 heal points. But if you damage, you could get 3 or 4 shots off maybe before it's even time to fight. That's 280. I did not cut because it took me a while to do the math. That's 280 damage, 280 ult points. That's almost triple. On top of that, you could also get a pick with that, which is pretty much fight ending unless they commit, and by that point they're just feeding ult by going into a 5v6. So you get a pick or generate a much higher ceiling of ult charge, versus if you heal your Ryan, you top him off, you get 100 ult, that's it. Your off support could have easily healed him, and they probably need the charge more than you if you're on main heals, or if you're on off support, you could have been doing something different. You know, damage boosting someone else, something, I don't know. But in that scenario, when you're in the poke phase, recommend damaging. You know, variables change, blah, 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 but very general on paper. That's what I recommend. Yeah, like I said, that's pretty basic. You'll be making decisions like that all the time. You have to be making them really fast and know how to make them. So next, let me show you a clip of a scenario where target prioritization had to change very quickly. All right, here we are. I don't actually want to see my face twice, and I don't think you do. So I'm going to pull up an arbitrary picture to cover it up. Cover that up real quick. Should be enough. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to quickly try to talk through my mindset in this gameplay. It's just 20 quick seconds. They're not perfect decisions what I did, but I'll just try to walk you through why I made decisions I made. So I'll start off. In the beginning here, a Tracer walks through, so I'm going to take pot shots at her. Our Hog is about 2/3 health, but he still has vape. And, you know, there's not really... at the video, the picture went away. Oh, well, we're just going to see my face twice. Hog's at 2/3. He's fine. Everyone else is fine. So I can take pot shots here. That's why I'm doing that. And then I'll shoot shield here just to shoot at it. I don't need to heal anyone right now. I watch our Echo get domed. This is positioning, not really target prioritization, but I'm going to try to play more safe here. Now that I saw that. At this point, I'm just going to top off Hog because I don't have anyone to aim at. He pulled D.Va, so I'm going to look to shoot her. I went for a nade there because since Sigma ulted, I knew that their team was going to start pushing. So maybe that would halt the push until his ult was done, and it's back to an even fight. You'll also see that we have one pick, so I can play a little more aggressive too. But I'm healing our Sig here because I'm not trying to avoid getting domed like our Echo was. Even though it is a 65 setting. Topping people off, our Hog can be more aggressive. Topped off here. I see him playing safe. D.Va's up too far, calling her out as I'm shooting her. Using trans now, so there's no point to really shooting besides building. Oh, I don't want to do that because we're in mid-fight. We're not in poke phase. So I'm going to start healing our McCree's critical, so I want to heal him. Get him up. They high noon, so I move. Just going to start healing people. Nothing else to do. And I'm going to stop there. Like I said, it's just, actually, I'm going to cut to back to my face. So as you saw, even when you're outside of the heat of the fight, you're positioned, you know, where you can't get domed or anything, you're still making tons and tons of decisions on the fly. Even when they're not game-winning ones, you still should be making the correct ones. Not every single one will be the right one. Not every single one I made there was correct. I saw myself, like, it's so cringy watching my own VODs, but I saw myself just jumping, and I could have easily been domed by that Zen, like, previously, and they also had a Widow. But like I said, every single one won't be the best one. But what you want to try to do is have the majority of your decisions be good ones, and then keep analyzing your bad decisions until they turn from consistent to edge cases to non-existent. And this whole guide is trying to get you in that direction, is trying to consistently make the right decisions. You won't always make them, but try to make them most of the time. And if you think you're making the right decisions most of the time, but you're still not climbing, then the next thing you want to do is submit a VOD. And that gets into what I'm talking about next. If you have any questions, anything like that, or you have a VOD, or you feel that you should be climbing, you're making right decisions, but you're still not climbing, let me know. Put a comment. I always respond to comments. Or submit a VOD. I love to review VODs. If you're not climbing, you think you should, let me take a look at it. I'll either tell you why you're not, or you'll get a real confidence boost because if I can't find anything wrong, then you're insane. But other than that, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.